It's the 14th of Jan today, so usual thing, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 questions as ever on the 5 a day. Nevertheless, let's continue, and first question coming up now. So first question actually isn't too bad. So first question is, for what values of x is this function increasing? That said, it's a very specific definition of an increasing function. An increasing function is where dy dx is specifically greater than 0. So it does mean it's going up, but you define it in terms of the gradient. So in other words, I'm going to need to know what dy dx is. So let's differentiate. Dy dx equals 2x. When is 2x greater than 0? Well, it's greater than 0 for all values of x greater than 0. So my answer here is basically all values of x greater than 0. Next question. Y equals x plus 7 times x plus 3. You've got a double bracket, work out dy dx. Now, you may well have seen something called the product rule. Actually, in many ways, you don't need the product rule here. Much easier to expand the bracket. So you've got x squared plus 3 plus 7, which is 10x. 3 times 7 is 21. And if we differentiate that, bring down the power, which is 2x. Take away 1 from the x to the 1 is x to the 0, which goes away. And that gives me 2x plus 10. Nice question. Next question. Sketch the graph of y equals 2x squared minus 3x minus 14 and work out the equation of the line, the symmetry on the graph. Well, I almost want to do this back to front. So I'm going to complete the square. So if I complete the square, that gives me y equals 2 brackets x squared minus 3 over 2. Let's write that slightly neater. Minus 3 over 2x. And let's just leave the minus 14 on the outside, which is going to give me 2x minus 3 over 4 all squared minus 9 over 16 minus 14. It's a little bit messy, isn't it? Which is going to give me 2x minus 3 over 4 all squared minus 9 over 16 times 2 is minus 9 over 8. Minus 14 is going to give me minus 121 over 8. And that means I can straight away see what my turning point is. So my turning point is going to be, I'm going to write it over here, is going to be 3/4 minus 100. Again, let's write that neater. Minus 121 over 8, which I can see is just this side of the axis. Minus 14, which goes through 0, so therefore my graph is going to look something like this. Sketch the graph. Well, I've sketched the graph and work out the equation of the line of symmetry. Well, the line of symmetry is going to be going through the x value of the turning point, so that's going to be x equals 3/4. Now, in a real question, they'll probably be a bit more specific about what they want. So typically, you would label the y-intercept, which is minus 14. What's going on with my pen today? Let's try and make that neater. Minus 14. And I might find the turning points as well. So if I factorize this, can I do that? Yes, I can. It's going to be 2x minus 7 and x plus 2. Let's just check that. So 2x squared plus 4x minus 7x is minus 3x. That's good. Minus 4. Okay, good. So I've also got my turning points. So my turning points are going to be 7 over 2 and minus 2, which are my turning points. Again, a real question on an exam would be a bit more specific about exactly what it wants, but I've definitely covered all the areas here. Next and final question today. So it's giving me a matrix multiplication, and so therefore I know if I multiply the top row by the column, well, that's going to tell me that 1 times x plus 2 times y is equal to 3. And if I multiply the bottom row by the same column, well, that's going to tell me that x squared, oh, this is a nice one, plus 3xy is equal to 10. So in a very nice way, I've just set up a simultaneous equation, haven't I? So let's see what I can do with this one. I'm going to start with the linear equation. So I've got x plus 2y equals 3, which means I can turn this into x equals 3 minus 2y. Then switch it into down here. So it's going to be 3 minus 2y all squared plus 3 minus 2y times y is equal to 10. This question looked a lot easier than it was when I started to carry on, but let's carry on anyway. Let's expand my bracket. So that's going to give me 9. 3 times 2 is 6. Double that is 12. Minus 12y plus 4y squared. Now be careful here because I've got three things I'm multiplying. So plus 3 times y, which is 9y. 3 times minus 2 is minus 6y squared is equal to, well, let's bring the 10 over while we're at it. Might as well do it in one go. Minus 10, again, my pen is being silly. Minus 10 is equal to 0. Now, let's collect carefully. So I've got, it was 6y squared, wasn't it? So I've got 4y squared minus 6y squared, which is minus 2y squared. Minus 12y plus 9y is minus 3y. And 9 minus 10 is minus 1, which is equal to 0. So let's multiply everything by minus 1, which gives me 2y squared plus 3y plus 1, which I do know straight away I can factorise 2y plus 1, y plus 1, which means that y equals minus 1 or y equals minus a half. So, God, let's put these together correctly. So y equals minus 1, x, and so to be clear, I'm using this equation here, x equals 3 times 2 times minus 1, which is 3 plus 2, which is 5. So therefore x equals 5, or y equals minus a half, which means that x equals, well, 2 times minus a half is plus 1. So 3 plus 1 gives me x is equal to 4. And I always tend to like to write these as coordinates, so therefore that's going to give me 4 minus a half, or 5 minus 1. Point is, as long as I'm pairing these things up clearly, I will get that mark at the end. And that is today done. I have to say that started fairly well, started fairly easily. The sketching question was more difficult than it looked, and that last question was really quite difficult in the end because you had to do a simultaneous equation. So not impossible, not too hard, but nice little question at the end. As ever, comment below, I'll reply to your comments, and leave a like and subscribe to the channel. I'll see you for the next one.